finally get my hands on this one. This is really cool. Well, what's that say? Exclusive lava surfing vehicles? And doesn't say that it doesn't work on lava. Not like all those other stupid Lego boats that apparently don't float. Guess this means I gotta put this to the test. Mom, I'm going to Hawaii!
Hello everyone, and welcome to a Retired Review. Today we're taking a look at set number 8624, Race for the Mask of Life. The set was released in 2006, contains approximately 507 pieces, and during time of release was approximately $60. Alright, we're almost all done with everything, so this should be an interesting one, as it's the one that I've had the least experience with. It's definitely the one at the time of this recording I've had for the shortest amount of time, or at least built recently related to this review. So, as a disclaimer, because the playsets don't have a lot of community talk, there aren't a whole lot of talking points about them, and I haven't seen a whole lot of opinions from community members about them, this review is going to be entirely subjective. It's going to be all according to my opinion, or things I can objectively show you here. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. So, a little bit of background on this set. This is not promotional, that's not the right word, a special edition, limited special edition, that kind of a deal. As in, it only showed up in certain stores, and it wasn't a regular retail set like the other ones would be. At the moment, I don't recall which store it was exclusive to. If it was exclusive to a store, it might have been just Lego Shop at Home. I'm not entirely certain. And just so I don't have to talk about this later, this set is the only one of the 2006 playsets that is entirely non-canon. There are no canon aspects about this, so it does not count as far as a canon set or even semi-canon. It's completely made up. So let's go ahead and get into what we have here. First of all, the minifigures, of course. We have 4 Piraka and 4 Toa Inika, and you can see them all here. The weapons I have are the weapons that the instructions recommend you put on them. However, you are really allowed to do whatever you want with them regardless. I think the minifigures are perfectly serviceable. I don't think they're the best they could be. Obviously, they could have leg articulation, but I appreciate the extra mile that the designers went through to give them all unique head molds in the proper colors. So I think that's a really good thing about them. They're certainly a step up from last year's minifigures, 2005's. As far as the weapons, even though there are only 8 characters, you still get all 12. So you can mix and match and do absolutely whatever you want. Obviously there's this here, but you can do basically anything with them. So let's get into the constructions, and I will go in order of what was built first, and then get to what was built last. And that starts with the Inika craft. This right here is my favorite aspect about the set. I think it's a really interesting craft. The building experience for it was actually a decent amount of fun. It looks really cool and sleek, and it has a few neat functions. Obviously enough, you have 2 Zamor launchers, and they shoot blue Zamor spheres, and that works, of course, like any other Zamor launcher would, so perfectly fine. However, this has an additional function which I find to be super neat. On the back, you have a gear, and if you turn it, then this will come up, and it will show you 3 Zamor hidden inside. And you can go all the way and push it forward, and it gives it this really different shape. I think that's really cool. The function works perfectly fine. No issues. It was kind of fun to build. And then you can just bring it back. It looks perfectly normal. Obviously enough, it can fit 4 minifigures. I'm sure you can put more on, but it just has you put 4 on anyway. I think it's fun parts usage. It's got a cool blue color scheme with the black, the gray, the silver. It looks really striking. I quite enjoy it. I think that this is definitely my favorite part of this build. And you'll have to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Might this be the first appearance of the silver Piraka foot? Like, I know it was in Hydraxon, and it was in Gdunka, but this came out in 06. So I'm not sure if this is the first time we saw this recolor, which would make it exclusive to this set at the time of its release. However, that might be wrong. Feel free to correct me if that's the case. Moving over, we have the Piraka craft. Now, I'm mixed about this. On the one hand, I really don't like how it looks. It's clunky, it's weird, it looks like a bunch of pieces got slapped onto it with no care at all, just to make it look Bionicle-esque. These up here are fine, and even these sails seem really cool. But why are these here? Why are these here? It just seems really haphazard. It looks like it was made from a box of pieces instead of a carefully designed product. So I'm not big on it from that perspective. On the other hand, the front part of it is really cool. It looks really good. I like how this portion is designed, and the function, which it has two of, is really neat. Of course, it has a Zammer launcher, which you've already seen fire. However, the Zammer launcher can move. There's a gear on the back, and if you turn it, it'll turn the Zammer launcher, and I think that's really neat. The other one, and my favorite function on this craft, is right back here. You have this build right in the back, and you can move it, and the arms will move accordingly. So you can do all sorts of things. You can put them both out, one in, the other in, both in. It's really cool. I like that function. We've seen it later on in different forms, Skull Basher, for example. However, I think that's a really neat function, and I quite enjoy that. As far as the color scheme, it's fine. It's a little boring, a lot more gray, a lot more black, a lot more silver, and then gold and red. I don't know. I'm not super big on this one. Finally, the Outpost. I don't like this basically at all. It can hold, of course, however many minifigures you can put on it, and it has a few functions which are interesting. The build's not all that remarkable. It doesn't look all that interesting to me. And it has two primary functions. First, on the back, what you can do is you push this staff down, and then you push the mask out so that it catches. And obviously there's a lot of tension there. That way, it brings a gate down. And then what you can do is you can fire a Zamor right at the mask and open the gate. It just springs right up. However, let's say you're on the Piraka side and you want to further counteract anyone getting over there. Then you can take this out, and this axe swings down, and it either chops the Piraka or prevents them from, I guess, moving through it. And then, of course, you can just take the piece and put it right back. I am not a big fan of this contraption. It doesn't look interesting to me. Again, it has these Vaki blades that are just kind of haphazardly thrown on. It's not a very imposing structure. I'm not a big fan of the color scheme, and the functions are, they're fine, they work, they're just really almost flimsy. I don't like putting a lot of tension on this gate here. I don't think it's that compelling of a function. I don't like the axe. This piece is loose, it just sits there, so if you tip it forward, it risks coming out. It's not going to do it right now, but you can risk it falling out and getting lost. It's just not that interesting of a structure to me. It's definitely my least favorite part. I didn't enjoy building it. So, there it is. All in all, that's about all I have to say on this. I'm not interested in this set at all. I'm glad I never got the chance to get it when it came out, because I feel that there are better sets, more interesting play sets that you can get, you can better spend your time and money on. This one isn't too compelling to me, because 1/3 of it is something that I enjoy, while the other 2/3 are mediocre at best, and really, really uninteresting and unfun to build at worst. If I were to recommend it, I would say you can probably pass. There are better system sets and play sets that you can pick up, so I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to get this if I were you. However, it is up to you at the end of the day. You might find both of these craft to be incredibly cool. I do see there is a draw to having an Inika craft, which looks really nice and sleek, and then a Piraka craft, which looks taped together and haphazardly made. I get the appeal to that. I'm just not fond of the building experience for the other 2/3, and the Inika craft just doesn't do enough to carry the rest of the set for me. And that about does it. What do you think of this set? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know if there's anything I should have mentioned, anything I missed, anything at all. I read all the comments. I would greatly appreciate that. Join me next time when I go over. That's right, everyone. It's the biggest one. The biggest of them all. Well, not the biggest of all the play sets. There's another one that's larger, but the biggest of this wave. I don't even need to tell you what it is. So, tune in next week. It's gonna be good. Thank you so very much for watching, and until next time, have a wonderful day.